Moff, you had a note there to talk about Avi Silverberg, the guy that broke the female powerlifting record. Can you chime in on that?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to bring the link up or talk a little bit about it. So
Let's see if I can find it here.
there was so Avi was a coach for USA, or sorry, the Canadian national team of powerlifting. And recently, these federations have been allowing for transgender women. I can't even keep it straight. Biological men who identify as transgender women to compete in women's divisions. I know I can't even keep it straight now. So, I don't know if this is because so this is the IPF. So, USA Powerlifting just passed that there was another transgender lifter lifting as a woman from a man. And so IPF is sort of the parent federation of the USAPL. But the point is that there was this transgender lifter who essentially broke a bunch of records. The one in particular that this person broke was the all-time women's bench record.
Yeah, and he actually broke the female trans record. Like this trans person here, he broke their record and pissed them off, from what I understand too, right?
Yeah, so the female trans broke the record, which is, for one, it's really not that impressive. The record that
how much did he bench?
She broke was only 275 pounds, which anybody who spends a year or two in the gym can easily do that. That's for someone that's competing in powerlifting, it's very modest numbers. Now, I don't know what the weight class is, and Big Black maybe knows or can talk a little bit more about leverages.
275 pounds, yeah.
So 275 is not I could bench that. Most people, at least 4 out of 5 people on this panel could bench that. So this guy Avi entered in another powerlifting competition, and all you had to do was say, identify, and tick a box. You didn't have to do anything as far as provide any blood work. You didn't have to show any documentation, show any papers.
No surgery, no hormonal therapy,
nothing. You could still have all your appendages. Tick a box and just say, I identify as a woman. They put you in the women's division, and he shattered like 8 or 9 records, including the bench record. I think he did somewhere in the realm of like 360 or 370 pounds, something like that.
So it's 375 pounds.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Shouldn't they do a chromosome check?
They don't need to. You just have to tick a box.
Why would they? You just say you're trans. You just say you're a woman. So that's the problem, right? So he just said he was a woman, shattered all these records while the transgender lifter, the former record holder, was sitting front row. And then the transgender lifter had a complete meltdown, and then went on this online rant and said things like, he didn't do it in good faith, or people like me and I'm nice, so I should get to keep my records. It was this really weird sort of soliloquy about her personality and how that's why she should have. So, what's really funny to me, the bringing this thing full circle, is where I've had conversations with people that identify as trans, especially it's almost always trans women that were biological men. And it's very convenient to sit here and say somebody like Avi is, oh, well, that's just a man who's taking advantage of it just to say he's a woman. But you get to just say that. Where do you get to decide that because somebody is doing something that you don't like or you don't agree with? Where do you get to decide that person is gaming the system versus that is who they say they are? Why is somebody on one hand, oh, they are who they say they are? Or if they want to use the other bathroom or use the other locker room or use a women's only gym, they are who they say they are. But the minute that they come in and start breaking your records, or they start doing things and doing maybe harm to people, you say like, oh no, that's not a real transgender person. Like, so this double-sided sort of, this double speak, right? This double standard is just, it's insane to me.
Well, I think,
and hats off to Avi.
Yeah, so I think I can speak on this because that's kind of for those who don't know, Alberta is kind of the Texas of Canada. But I think I can speak to this. There's, I think, 2 things that are going on. So the first thing is that, like, a lot of women have never actually felt the strength of a man. Okay, so they see movies of like this, 110-pound chick beating up like 6 300-pound guys, and like again, it's brainwashing, similar to what we were talking about before. They think that's the way that that life works, though, right? I mean, Rich, I've told this story before about how I was at an event with a bunch of female rugby players, and I said to them, like, okay, well, let's arm wrestle. Let's put some money on it. You know, you guys think you can beat me in an arm wrestle? And I was like, I'll give you 10-1 odds, $200. I'll put down 200. You put down 20. I took all their money because they actually thought they could beat me in an arm wrestle. I said, I die in an arm wrestle. So then I milked them even more. I'm like, you can use 2 hands. Let's go again.
Okay, Big Black, could you enter that same contest as Avi and become the first Black transgender or the champion? Could you do that? We should pool money together and send you there.
I would make sure I called Nike first so I could get a sponsorship from them, and then
yeah,
you probably get it.
I could do that here in the U.S. I could enter any powerlifting competition I want.
But remember, the best troll ever is Big Black. If you do it, remember what Jim Morrison done on the Ed Sullivan Show?
No, I'm not 100 years old.
Yeah, he stuck a cucumber down his leather pants.
Oh,
okay. So do that. Break the record as a female athlete, and have the cucumber down your shorts while you're doing it.
What's a heavy bench press for like a strong power lifter? Because 370 it's about 3 1/4 plates, right?
Yeah, I mean, my guess is Avi can do more than 370.
Yeah,
probably didn't want to hurt himself.
I've seen 4 or 5 plates on bench bars before.
Avi's probably a mid 400 plus bencher.
Right.
Yeah,
What's that in
that wouldn't
kilograms?
surprise me at all. Kilos, that's probably
180.
No, 180 kilos is like 400 pounds. So like closer to 200, closer to 215-ish. Like 450 pounds is like 250 kilos.
Yeah.
15.
That's at the top of being natural and having to weightlift most of your life to be able to reach that.
Yeah. Whereas, like, again, somebody that lifts, like, again, your average 185 pound, 200 pound male who lifts for a year or two can easily hit a 275 bench. That's not hard.
Yeah.
And I think the second thing that was going on too was that the female or the male to female powerlifter, she was talking a lot of shit online, though, right? She was just, she was like, "Oh, I don't see why these women, why your benches all suck." Okay, put in the work. She's like, put in the work. And the guy's just like, "I'm not going to put up with this shit," and he just went in there and destroyed her because he's like, "Well, fuck you, though, right?"
Yeah.
She was.
Well, it's disproportionate. Like if you take a look at women powerlifting totals, like overwhelmingly better squatters and deadlifters than they ever will be benchers, and that just has to do with their physiognomy. That has to do with the way their bodies work. So yeah, I mean, it makes a ton of sense. Like I know women that can pull 400-pound deadlifts, but they can't bench 200 pounds. So like, yeah. So again, like it's nonsensical. It kills me.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here. And pinned down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.